How are we doing? We are live for some super arenas. Oh my goodness. Oh, he didn't take F7. He didn't quite want F7, but we still had an almost super awesome bush gas if he took everything there. Okay, D3, but we're just gonna go get him here. D takes C6 is a beautiful capture for us, opening the bishop to make G4 available for our knight against the queen, and opening our queen so that D4 is not blocking our bishop. And now we just go get him, knight G4, queen H4, no knight F3, no D4 supported, no deprivation of the beautiful H4 square, which targets H2 and F2, and we're just about to win this game, even though our opponent left. We can claim victory in other back. I don't think anything they can do leaving is going to save them at this point, though. So, at this point, I think we're just going to munch. We had 3 hits on F2. H2 was, I guess, even more pressing. But this is a classic Staffordian victory setup. So they take it, but we are just about to take everything now. Oh, no, no. Maybe this was a good move. Maybe it's still a good move. Queen G1, I guess, is obliged. G3, check, check. Check, check. I forgot about that. We got something creative here. G5 here, rook. I think this is fine. Maybe like just H5 and then G5. Could also just undo the last move. Yeah, why not? I don't know. We're being really lazy here. There's no rook F1. They want E5. They're not getting it. I guess they can go here. Oh, okay. All right. Good start. In the daily Super Blitz arena. I'm gonna shrink my head. Bang. What do you think? That well sized now. There we go. Next game, let's go. Maybe something we can do is like this. Maybe that makes more sense, right? Is there? There we go. Does that look prettier? Okay. Maybe. Got a Goring Gambit. H6 is a little extreme. It spends a whole tempo stopping but one idea, which wasn't even my main idea with 95 on the table. My main idea is going to be a hit F7 like so to keep 95 off the table and to encourage an annoying defense such as Queen T7. Queen E7 blocks this bishop and makes her vulnerable to knight hits like so. In fact, even if I give black another move here, they can't really move this bishop. They can't move this bishop. Knight check just drives you right back. So they need all this. So I got 2 ways through. I've got rook E1 and E5. And I got a similar option, which is trade, and after something like 85, then still try to fight my way through the E line. I think both of them involve a rook on U1. So I'm going to do that while I think about it. They play 85 voluntarily. to try to stop this forward thrust. I'll take it. Queen takes is impossible, of course. So, how to hit her? I could get the bishop somewhere along here. I could play knight d5 and e takes, but it blocks this, right? Maybe that was an interesting idea they had. And I would want bishop g5 and knight d5 here. So, okay. 4 is another idea to try to get through. So I could play something like this and somewhere here. Alright, let's try... No, I don't like it. Yeah, let's try bishop e3. And we're going to try getting in there. So, bishop c5 as a sacrifice could work if I have this blocked. Bishop c5 takes and then checkmate. That's why I didn't move the f-pawn, because bishop check or queen check here could be problematic. So they played a6 trying to take away another one of my resources. Alas, it's hard to just guard everything if I just make logical moves developing all my pieces and your king's there. So they do. They're still just trying to guard everything. Alright, but now I'm going to zigzag my way in. So bishop takes d5, hitting the rook, and then bishop c6 check, and that would be all she wrote. So that was necessary, but it's not sufficient, because I brought my rook into the game. And now you must go bishop to d7, and we have gotten through. Now we just gotta handle our business here in 27 seconds. Ooh, do we have checkmate right now? What about this? Okay. Maybe I had something cooler than that. Maybe I should just take stuff though. This looks like we got enough stuff. Looks like we did. That'll do. That will do. Oh, we can go the other way. No, you can't. Good game. So that's why you should castle your king. That's why you should castle your king. This is just how to do it with our gambits, chat. This is how to do it with our gambits. So we play this. Let me talk about the difference between this and the Danish in a second. But yeah, he took our pawn and we go bishop c4. Now he plays h6, right? Now, not that this position is in general easy to play, because knight f6, I'm going to hit you, bishop out, I'm also going to try to cause problems, maybe defending g7. But black needs to get their king out of the middle ASAP, right? Because I can attack f7, and all ways to defend f7 are inconvenient. The best way to do it is just if you can castle, and then the rook just does it. And now you're just safe and out of the middle. So h6, every move you play that doesn't get your king out of the center fast right now is going to be a problem. So I castle, right, because I'm doing that anyway. d6, which makes sense, stops e5, so the knight can come to f6 without trouble. But now I'm playing queen b3, and so it's already asking you a tough question. How are you dealing with this, right? My knight is taking away this e5 square. Now they played queen e7. Better is queen d7, because say if I do something like this, now knight a5, and now I don't have check. So that's not obvious, because queen d7 and queen e7 both block something. Neither look pretty, but necessary to do. So now knight a5, and now I just have to go here, and we make that trade. Okay, I still have pressure. I still want to play e5, and you're still a few moves from castling, and the engine even still likes this for white. So wouldn't have necessarily saved them in a vacuum, but queen e7 definitely makes it worse, because now you're even further from castling. Okay, maybe you want to go long. I guess that was their idea, but queen takes b7, attacking the rook and attacking the knight really makes that impossible to move. And if you don't have knight a5, now check just forces your knight right back. So knight takes c3, I just grabbed this pawn in style. Okay, bishop takes b2, I was happy to play at any time, but I'm only down one pawn now, and I want to go knight d5, which has all sorts of nice targets. Knight f6, and now just the very simple rook e1, keeping e5 or knight d5 flexible. The king, queen is still there. My pieces have done a good job keeping those guys in the middle, and now we're just bringing out the rest of them to go get them quickly with some sort of breakthrough right down Main Street, right? So they play knight e5, which is a good idea, because I was going to go down Main Street, and so they close said street. Just the solid bishop e3, just continuing to develop. They're not close to castling, right? Like, if my opponent could castle next turn, then I would have to do something to take that away. But, like, they need at least a few moves, right? This is kind of reminds me a little bit of the Morphe Opera House game, with the queen bishop being here, and neither of these guys can move, right? Look at my queen stopping both bishops from getting out very easily. So they play a6 to take away maybe some other idea, but I mean, I think they should have, yes, c6 makes more sense. Also reminds me of that game, but takes away, that's just the pattern you want against a knight, that distance, to take away those squares. Could have helped them. c6 also maybe allows the bishop to move, and some sort of defense could be opening here, but I still want like rook d1 and bishop c5, and then maybe some checkmate ideas there, for example, or opening more for my rooks. So a6, rook d1, b6. I mean, I don't think b6 lost in the game. Like, it did open this diagonal. That does lose them the game. But, you know, it's hard to recommend a move here at all. Let's say they play something like g6 to make sure development happens. I think I do have bishop c5 here. Get a recommendation. Oh, or I also have takes. I mean, things just work when your pieces are just cooking like this. And yes, now I am winning the queen one way or the other. So this is how you want to attack. Just bring all your pieces into the game, down one pawn, keep their opponent's king in the middle, and just open it up and go get them. And after b6 here, yeah, I mean, something had to give. Something had to give b6 so that the bishop can move, but something had to give, and now I just have this check, and I am winning. GG. Subscribe. Play the Gambits. Oh, and yes, key difference here, as opposed to the Danish, where you just play d4 right away, right? d4 here and c3. Here, black has just a really easy option of d5, but when we do it in this move order, first of all, d5 here, we have bishop to d3, and now it takes a knight f6 is not as appealing, because I can actually grab this knight. And the other thing is that when we include these moves, knight f3, knight c6, and in the Danish, they're just back here, but we go knight f3, knight c6, and then go d4 as if we're playing a scotch. Now d5 isn't appealing either, and it's a very good move in the Danish, and really just ends all problems for black. But now pawn takes d5 has a tempo on this knight, right? Ordinarily, with the knights back here, they can now just play bishop d6. This diagonal is closed forever, which is very important, because without pressure on f7, white doesn't really have anything, and then just here in castles really easily. But now after e takes d5, this knight is hit and has nowhere to go, so it's not a good option. And so, yeah, I mean, I score really, really well with this. You guys can see 72% win rate here and 76 games. So play the Korean Gambit. What is your rating? Chess.com, like low 27s. Here where I mess around a lot, we got 2354. Another bush gas. Oh my god. Did we just get this acceptance? Oh, please take it. Ah, we got another knight takes c6. Not the same exact line. Not the same exact line, chat. D takes c6 opening for here, d4, but the d takes c6 also opened the queen. It is a wonderful capture. The Stafford capture, as I call it. Oh, yikes. Check. What do we got? Bing, bing. Bing, bong, bong, bing, bong, bang. Alright, I mean, why not, right? Just take a free rook. It's really nothing there. Really nothing there. Nothing to it. Check. Knight takes. Okay. I mean, I could trade queens, but what if I don't want to? What if I just want to win the game right now, please? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let's have some fun. I'm going to take g3. Go knight takes g3. Check. Oh, that's smarter. No, it's not smarter. They can go queen takes. What do we got? Bang. I guess they have bang. Didn't really calculate anything beyond this. I'll just keep taking stuff, though. If you insist. insist. Back. Because then I was out of checks. Okay, so we are up in exchange and at least a few pawns. Could be another one if I felt like it. And their king is like that. What do we think, chat? What do we think? Here. Okay. How to kill? Probably this now. Should I just trade queens? I wanted to do something clever. Kind of like queens on. I like bishop g4, bishop f5 now. Utilizing my pins. I guess here they have rook d2, so here. What's up, Darkwing Dog? How we doing? Boom. I am great. I am great. We have today the start of March Madness. That is... Oh my goodness. This is a game. This is a game. Buckeyes, Horned Frogs. Oh, Gold Korean just berserked me. Not another Bush Gas. Is he gonna... How rude. He just Danished me. Oh, I don't know about that one though. I want to drop the hammer. I should do that next time. The hammer gambit. Gotta drop that hammer. Bam. Yeah, also go here. That's a nicer square. It's fine. G3, what about that? Oh, yeah. Probably. I guess they have F4, E3, Knight F3. Extends the game, technically. If I give check, then I can't en passant, famously. Check here, and then bishop takes is an option. Board takes, knight takes, check. Then block. Well, I mean, at minimum, I've checked the bishop. Oh, okay, that seems a little desperate. Oh, I also could have just checkmated last turn. Not much they can do about that. GG, we're rolling. Yeah, 1300C, Feeding Master and Berserking. I do like it. Another Berserk. Another day, another Berserk. I want to try out, as an ode to Schrance, the Ortho-Schnap. Play a lot of Alapins, which I love so much. Oh my goodness. It's Let's get the Gambit glasses on for my man, Vampire Chicken. Okay, we got queen e7 on the board. Okay, don't move the d-pawn yet, probably because queen b4 check. Knight c6. What if we put there? They're probably alive. Okay, as I understood it, based off of my very vague memories of the Ortho-Schnap, let's play d3, and then block with bishop and long castle. They can throw in a little d2 check action. Okay, but now the queen can't come to b4 because this is blocked. That's shout out to Morphe's Opera House game for that idea. No knight a5 because also check is annoying. Okay, beautiful. Let's long castle. Oh my goodness, this is awesome. This is awesome. I am feeling that Ortho-Schnap energy through the Gambit glasses, baby. Bishop e6. Oh, I think you're just toasted though. I can take and take. Well, maybe queen takes defends a little bit. So let's just eat you. Now we're just feasting. Look at all these things I can take. But like they were stuck. Queen here. This is the second game in the past 4 games that I've had a queen here that keeps a queen on e7 and keeps both bishops stuck. The other came out of a goring. But like look how stuck they are and the king's in the middle. And all I was really gonna do is just something like really simple, like boom boom. And then boom, right down Main Street. So what to eat here? Let's eat you first. We've got a whole menu. We've got our first dish. Well, like the little appetizer was the pawn. Then our entree was this knight. I don't even think we've hit the main course yet. Don't even think we've hit the main course yet, but this is a several course meal, chat. For our queen is hungry. Have they moved their king? Scrolling through notation cheating. No, they have not moved their king. Okay. Scrolling through notation is not cheating. I would have notation in a real game. Wow, really? No. No. She's still hungry. She doesn't want to trade herself off. But you know what else? And I hate to be inconsistent with my analogies, but... dang, so there's no bishop f4 check. Not that they could move the queen anyway. What was I going to say? I was going to say I was throwing a party, and... the address is their king. And all my pieces are invited. Oh my goodness. Guys, long live the Ortho-Schnap Gambit. Major shout out to the one and only Vampire Chicken. My inspiration, Mr. Jonathan Schrantz. So CD5, ED5, and Queen B3. So this is just like a fun one to play. I mean, it's already -1 according to the engine. Like, also doesn't have to take this pawn. But bishop c4, queen e7. As I recall, queen e7 was a good move. Queen d7. I don't know what the deal is with queen e7 versus queen d7 here. But you should check out Schrantz's channel for more on this. Yeah, queen e7 was good. Okay, knight c3. They played knight c6. That was fine. I played d3. They took it. I mean, they're asking for trouble, though. I mean, another option they had is this and here, which I guess is kind of annoying. Like, my queen on b3 is just so powerful, right? Like, you saw, it ties down that bishop, and it ties down these pieces, right? Pressure f7, pressure b7, and if you can't drive her away, she's just causing lots of problems. Yeah, this move would have been annoying. Would have kind of been annoying. Maybe, like, king f1, and I'd bring my rook in nonetheless. Or I'd take it and rook e1. But it stops my rooks from just, like, beautifully coming to the middle, which is what was kind of going to happen in the game. So knight f6, castles... and yeah, they just blundered with bishop e6, and now I can take here. But I don't know, it's not obvious what to do. Like, let's say you play g6 trying to get out of here. Now I play rook e1, and now you play bishop g7. Well, you don't get out in time, right? I go here, and I just get you. I just get you, right? So here, and I just win your queen. Oops, one more square, and then I win your queen. So, yeah, bishop e6, and then we just yum. I mean, we just ate everything. We just ate everything. We brought all our pieces to the game. I was concerned bishop f4 check and winning here if I wouldn't move the bishop, but of course if it's pinned, the queen cannot take my queen. But, you know, I pinned their bishop just in case, and we just took everything and mated them up a ton of material. So, yes, I love the Alapin Gambit. Huge fan here. Takes e4, knight takes f3, and then just going like so with the queen e1 and the queen h4 and hitting there. No h6 because we take it. Knight's tied down to the mate thread, and then we get rid of that knight, and we just get him. So love that. But Ortho-Schnap, also a lot of fun, and fun to mix it up every once in a while. Quick hits on f7 when they have to bring the queen out. Same idea in the Goring, guys. Same idea in the Goring, the game I was just playing here, of this here takes bishop coming out to c4. My opponent plays something like h6 and d6. Well, now queen b3 and queen e7 happened, and look at that. When you can play queen b3, when you can attack f7 and they can't castle to defend it, castling to defend f7 is by far the best way. The rook just does it. If you can't do it, might be a big problem defending that, and then you might be stuck with your king in the middle. Subscribe to me and to Charles. Who are you rooting for in the candidates, and why is it Bluebound? Wow, great question. I hate to be that guy, but I think I'm rooting for a card. I don't think that's a hot take, but I like seeing his breakdowns of his candidate matches. And imagine if he started publishing breakdowns during his world championship of his world championship matches. I just think that would be like just objectively the most exciting thing and the best for chess if we finally got Hikaru in playing for a classical world championship. I just think that would be so much fun. And there's a lot of guys I like in that field. But yeah, dang, I want to see Hikaru in a world championship match. Let's switch it up here with a Budapest Gambit. With a Budapest. Didn't want to defend this pawn. I don't really know how to play my Gambit when you already left that hanging. Do you have an 84 maybe? They didn't want either. If you ever change your mind and want to defend the pawn, let me know. I'd like to play a Gambit. Okay, you really want my knight to leave and take this pawn. If you say so. What's going on here? Not much going on. I forgot that. Can I get in there? Just randomly trying to make something happen? Yes, somehow, even though my opponent has played allegedly super conservative, all of a sudden they're gonna have a hard time castling. They delayed castling. Stop delaying castling, chat. I wanna get through. I mean, I could just yum. I probably should just yum. Okay, trade. And up. Uppy. Now I kind of blundered that guy. Alright, well, we have an extra pawn and not any extra time. Let's see how well we can do this. He's just being like, I dare you to make progress. Made progress. Aha. Take that. Progress being made. I think I'm just going to take this knight, honestly. I think it's kind of the most straightforward way.
4.
There we go. There we go. Nice. Good job, William. I think we won all our games. We won all our games. So now, oh, another, guys, do you want to see, let's play the weekly Rapid Arena. Let's play that weekly Rapid Arena, chat. Let's get in there. The 5 and 20. Do I play the Mora? No, I play the Yan Gambit against the Sicilian. Do I play King of the Hill? No. I'm not super into a ton of variants. I do like, what's that called? Some sort of handicap chess variant. There's this interesting website that does it. Alright, but let's Berserk to start out the weekly Rapid Arena. Whatever happened in this game? TCU pulled it out against Ohio State. Did not want it. Did not want it. How about now? I'm really asking for it. C6 here was very imprudent. We could play d5 in one go, but honestly bishop b3 and they're fine. I'm probably just gonna play d6. Robert Lutici, thank you for the sub. Should I just come out here? Why not? There's no knight that could bother me directly. Whereas here, I could play g5. I probably should. I'm a huge fan of like this maneuver. But they could probably play h3 and g4 if I do nothing. So I think I should play g5. To tell you the truth. And then like follow it up with like a knight h5 kind of thing. I don't know what they're thinking about that doing here. So yeah, knight a4. Maybe I should play a5 just so they don't have knight a4 really, right? Good. Yeah, okay, I'll play a5. I don't know what they're going to play. I don't know what you can really do in this position if you're white. This is very nice. H5, H3, H4 is an option. Take, nice pin. I like having this guy here. I think King H1 makes sense for them. That's why I played A5. I wanted this square. They play H4. Now I'm going to come after you though. Knight H5, I want to take it for free. So H2 obliged. Maybe I just take it then in H3. Just really walk you down. Drawback chess. Drawback chess. Thank you. Thank you. That is what I was thinking of. Thank you, Geheim and Jeffrey Matthias, who both mentioned it. Takes is actually almost interesting because they have Queen G6 check in that position, right? I would play. I'm not sure I can get away with it actually. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Take. Yeah, maybe not. That was probably clever. That was probably actually clever. So let's just play safe with Queen F6. Just gonna move regardless. See, if I just dominate the whole board, I can play G5 and get away with it. Even though, like, yes, it exposes my king, but it only exposes my king if you can get to my king. And I just don't see that happening. Got a +5 position against Esserman in the Mora as white. You played the Mora against Esserman? And he didn't know what to do? That is funny. You would think of all people. I guess that can happen, though, if it's, like, really your line, that you don't know what to do for the other side. So you should. I mean, just goes to show that your repertoire should be solid, right? There's no, like, glaring hole. They should move this knight. I mean, I don't... Like, it just cannot stand on the square whatsoever. You got out of the pin by some miracle. Like, I have h3 and also all this. So knight e1... I feel like knight g3, which is absolute filth. Knight e1, I also have h3. No, wait, what are you doing here, chat? What are we even doing here? So, I mean, I guess they want this. Queen g6. g3. I mean, I could also just, like, be like, no, deal with your problems. It's just only if this is even better. I guess maybe they would go pawn takes. Maybe it's now less bad for them than the alternative. h3 is also on the table here. I don't know, I'm just going to be like, yeah, deal with your problems. Like, what are we doing here? I also don't need to give you anything. I like this. I played a5 for a reason. This was the only reason. Deal with your problems. Knight e1, h3, g3. I mean, it's super ugly for them. Don't get me wrong. But it's not immediately losing. So I like knight g3, which is like trapping the rook. If you take it, takes, and then look at this guy. Look at this guy. Whew. Sheesh. And then the problem isn't even f2. It's h2 in that position. So knight e1, knight g3. Yeah. I mean, I just take it whenever I feel like it at that point. Also, that rook becomes hanging. Takes, and like takes f2. Check. If you discoordinate. I feel like this is only a resource for me. Okay. I don't know why that didn't cross my mind, actually. They could take h6. I don't feel like you have anything on h6, but it is a thing. Check. Knight back. Yeah, I'm not really afraid of this. So something I want here, though, is... So g3, now we're good. We're good, chat. Just block. Could try to just trade queens here up a piece. But I do want bishop takes f2 check and rook takes a1. Yes, please. As much as I love Mr. Bishop here, and that's mate, by the way. That is mate. Not even mentioning this dynamic. But also, if I then trade on f1, then knight g3 check just wins their queen. If the king's on f1, after a rook trade there, then we are just winning the queen. Not to mention this bishop, but also the queen. GG. Alright, let's still play it out. I think that's the fastest way to mate. You know how Hikaru sometimes will end games with like all pre-moves? I want to get to that point, but I can't do it if they could just play bishop d2, right? I guess they go here. I mean, I could take this knight. I mean, in an arena, like what are we doing with our time here, chat? Why are we wasting our time? I want to do something really, really clever. Just take it. Queen d2, king here, takes there. I don't know. Okay, fine. Just sit here and suffer then, if you insist. Queens are hungry today. True. Should I just like promote to all? To all what? I just need to get rid of this bishop to get through. I also have this, but then it's just like the king goes for a ride. Alright, let me read the chat. Morgan assessment is nuts. Let's try to mix it up. Let's try out our King's Gambit today. Let's try out a King's Gambit. Playing a lot of Gorings. I want to play the bishop c4 King's Gambit. I want you to check me. I'm not even playing f3. The Gambit Guy official has followed me on Twitch. Who might that be? Alright, they checked me and I'm going king f1. So this is actually theory of some sort. Of course, knight f3 in the King's Gambit is the most common move. It stops queen h4. However, this is interesting because it potentially attracts queen h4. And even though I have to move my king, my next turn is going to be, well, this they often do also, right? They think they can just checkmate you. I have d4 here, so this is not really a great move. And it's another reason why this line might be even good, because a lot of people just throw their bishop out here thinking they can get in. Don't play knight f3 in that case. Otherwise, knight f3 would be played against almost anything else. Now knight f3 looks beautiful. Look at my center, look at my developed pieces. Just don't look at my king. Now we got some good stuff. So like here, would be really appealing if the bishop weren't directly defending c7. Still certainly appealing and can eliminate this. I just want to go e5 right now, kind of even more. Both are good. Both are good, but I think e5 can just help me take this right away. Yeah, I mean, knight on d5. Who can argue with that? I think like knight c3 here, which was a very good move, but knight e7 is kind of their next turn anyway, and it takes away what I want to do. So let's play e5, and now let's proceed depending on where this queen goes. Maybe I just take this without any resistance. So now she's on c6. And we've got a lot of options for how to deal with this bishop in terms of how we want to bring out our pieces. Knight a3 is an option. Queen somewhere is an option. Just bishop back is an option. Do I want my pressure on f7 or on h7? These are life's great questions. Probably just the nice and easy queen e2. As I look to just bring everybody out. This was intriguing, right? castles, queen h5. The problem is this is check. Maybe my bishop should have been on b3 after all. That's alright. We're all good here. We're going to bring out all of our pieces. Look at our beautiful center. We're not even down anything. And their queen is running a little short on squares, dare I say. It has g6 at the moment. She has g6, although after knight h4, I don't really see another one. So for example, bishop b5, bishop d5, okay, targeting here. But bishop d5, queen g6, it does stop this. Stop it. I like this and this option. I honestly think the most lethal thing might just be to bring the queen right into that line of fire. I'll just play the very simple rook d1 though. Just keep it really simple right now. I don't know how you develop, because d6 now you're immediately trapped. Right? You have nothing to do with your queen side. I just kind of wanted to emphasize that point. As, you know, this is kind of the dream of any King's Gambit player. If e takes f4 happens, oh, now you're just trapped, right? Now you're just trapped. But if e takes f4 happens out of the King's Gambit, right? And then they just don't do anything about it, and you're just able to collect this pawn, yeah, it's a phenomenal center. It's a phenomenal center. That's why I kind of advise just like not taking this pawn almost ever. In Vienna's, in King's Gambits, in any King's pawn structure, if you're black, just don't take it. Just bishop c5 and d6 and just hold that pawn there so you have this diagonal. Because my opponent brought their bishop to c5, but without a pawn on e5. So now I just play d4, and it was just gorgeous. And I just take everything. I just take everything. So I'll probably win the queen. Yeah, he barely developed anything. But this is kind of what happens, you know, like I mean, until a higher level. But you know, you throw something at their king, it looks appealing. But I just have d4 here, which more than solves all my problems. Comes with tempo, takes the whole middle, and now they're just on the back foot. And like look at just how beautiful my development was relative to my opponents. So I think the best option for black out of that line is, I guess queen e4, they have this. I could take it and then queen e4 check. Do we have some like pretty mate? I'll go here to set up queen e4. Did I just blunder this? Check here, check. Queen h5, they have bishop 5. Alright. Check. Okay, I gotta go queen e3. Always great to throw knight e4 there, just in case your opponent has pre-moved queen c3. Pro tip. Pro tip. Let me in. Or maybe the latter. I'll just take it. Where to checkmate? Where to checkmate? I think this will do. Now they have king g7. Here, take here, you know, player run. Here, I can go up. Here, still knight d7 is annoying. What is the fastest route to checkmate? Probably this. Force 5. Just need to keep that defended now on 87. Because they have defenses on any other like instant mate idea. So this was, I think, the most straightforward. Rook c8, h5 takes, hg. No, because they can take my bishop now. Rook c8, I gotta save her. Gotta save her. Am I getting too lazy? Is this a problem? Oh, it is a problem. I'm not even in time, William. I need to go here. Okay, wait, that's not a problem. Rook takes c2. I had to go bishop d4. It's still an extra queen. Let me in. Throw something at me. Okay, or not. GG. So. Yeah, best move for black here, I think, is d5. I mean, the engine will tell you d6, because it just kind of wants to keep this pawn. Play knight f3 whenever you want. You can play it now. What do most people do here? Bishop c5, I mean, third most common move. But like knight f6, go to knight f3. So people go here, knight c3. I think this is pretty nice. You got some pressure here. You can play e5 as well. Shouldn't have too much trouble getting your pawn back. I thought like this was a good move. It is. Bishop takes. You hit that bishop. Right, so you kind of take the initiative away from your opponent. You should be able to castle and develop quickly. I would recommend that. I mean, most people are going queen h4 check here. If you're not, knight f6 second most common. Just knight c3. I like this. King's Gambit accepted with bishop c4. I think it's fun. I also like here, even knight c3 is an interesting move. I think maybe that's what I was confusing it with, but check king e2. And now knight f3, and you just kind of want to fix that. Take this pawn. Because the thing about knight c3 is it actually, yeah, that reminds me, it comes out of my Van Geet. E4, e4, where I give this en passant line on my channel, but this is also, of course, an option here. Now it's a King's Gambit with a Noah Kunsky Gambit. So, okay, fun one there. All right, let's get back to the arena. Subscribe. What's up, James Ruga? Cooking without utensils. Yes, sir. I think we've won every game today. What's up, Jenny? I was so bored playing against the London and watched all of your London Crusher videos, and all of a sudden nobody's playing the London against you. That happens. That always happens when you prep for an opening and then you don't get it. There's two solutions to that. The first is to go into a Discord channel and go for Find Games. Is if you go into my Discord and people will play the lines you're looking for against you. 1290 Berserking, I like it. Let's play a Walrus Gambit. Oh yeah. Don't mess with the Walrus. Don't mess with the Walrus. Alright, what do we got here? Bishop there. Let's play h6. Gambit glasses on. c3 is actually a good move, because I was planning on doing this. Could do it anyway, but c5, e3 seems pretty solid to me, so we're going to need a different way through. Let's still look for a long castle. Whoa, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. What I didn't want is for you to stay solid. What I do want is for you to just throw random things at me like that. That now open up lots of ideas. For example, queen a4. I don't know what's happening, but I will eat it. Alright, well the pawn there is still defending one idea. Ooh, I want my queen on c1. I'm so hyper aware of that pattern that I have a few lines that focus on it. Can I get in? I don't think I can. E3? I should probably just do this. This is the most logical move. Just develop your pieces, William. Just bring all your pieces into the game. We are not even down a pawn. Okay, e3. Yum, 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 yum. Give me some sacrifices. Give me some yummy, yummy sacrifices. I could go here, stop the bishop's development, and bishop c2 and rook d1. Could go here, stop the bishop's development, and then here. Could go here, open everything, and then boom. Ah, I don't even know. I have so many good ideas, chat. Somebody help me. I have too many good options. Look at these guys. You're playing a4, bro? I forgot my opponent's 1290. I'm being mean. Okay. Because they were playing good for the first 10 moves, so then I forgot. Well, it wasn't as many as 10. Oh, can I just checkmate you? Boom, boom, boom. And then boom. And then I probably have mate. There's probably mate there, chat. I mean, bishop g4 just wins, but probably mate, probably mate. Probably mate. Is the mate, though? Steps up, check here, check. I mean, there's just no pieces that are useful here, which is why I just assume there's mate. There's nobody that can block, nobody that's guarding any square that I would ever use. So, like, literally I could just walk them down, like so. I guess rook d1 would be insta-mate if it weren't for the queen, so maybe I should take that back. But, still lots of usable squares. Checkmate. Fun one. Fun one. Long live the Walrus. Yeah, no, my opponent was playing pretty logically here, c3, and if they just kind of played e3, just held this big chain in the middle, and then tried to get out. Yeah, I would play something like queen g6, I would still try to make it hard on them. The long castle, I mean, if it's so solid in the middle, you know, it's hard for my rooks to get there. Like, I still try to play c5 and wear it down somehow. But, yeah, keeping it solid in the middle. Let's just try it. But d5 just opened everything for me. e8 here, I mean, everything was good. Oh, I had an even faster mate. Boy, at this. Oh my goodness, that's so nice. Can I go? Queen takes g3 even leads to mate. How does that work? Tick, 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 tick. Oh my goodness, why couldn't this have been my game? Okay, instead I played bishop c5, double question mark, even though it is still winning very quickly. Because I can take, and yeah, this was mate. Nice, GG. Subscribe, long live the Walrus. Develop quickly, go get him. What is a4? Yeah, I didn't know what a4 was there. Bishop e2, they were in trouble anyway. They were in trouble anyway. c4. I want to do something new and fun. I'll just play a6 still. Okay, this is a good one because what I like to do here is put my bishop there and put my knight here. And a6 is useful because my bishop needs this storage square in case anybody messes with him, because this diagonal is going to be very, very important. Now I want to know where your knight is going. Is it going to e2, in which case I will go h5, h4? Or is it going to f3, like so, in which case I will go f5, f4, and hit you with a Grand Prix attack? So with the knights on e2 and e3, then it's very well suited, you can imagine this, to stopping f4. So I won't be going with this. They play bishop g5 here actually really quick. So I am down a move here relative to the normal Grand Prix. So if I play knight f6, knight d5 actually is really annoying. Move. So let me try to find something creative. So queen d7, I need to kick you in a moment. Keeping this diagonal empty so that my knight can come in peace. I do like, so a6 was sufficient also as an extra waiting move. Like even if I had, say, this position and it was my turn, this position with my turn, which is possible, right? I'll explain more later. But okay, so h6 now. Now my knight can develop here in peace, and we should get our Grand Prix cooking. So a3, yeah, I don't care about that, right? So I'll still just castle and just tuck you back in here. a6 coming in handy. I'm going to play f4. I'm going to play f4, and I'll bring my queen probably to h5 anyway. Just like as if she came from d8 to h5. And that's where we attack from against this knight on f3 setup. Knight on e2, it's different. So queen on d7 a little awkward. Okay, gotta watch out for you. I think I'm just going to take a head start here, though, because c5 just hangs the queen. Similarly, I could play queen e8 if my queen were just never kicked. I'm still on d8. Play queen e8 because c5 bishop e6 is nice if the queen defends. So a4, they're going for something here. I don't really care, if I'm being real with y'all. I just don't. b5, f4. Oh, sorry, f4, b5, knight d4, trade ba6. Should I care, chat? They are doing a good job trying to bother me. f4, b5, knight d4, take. I think we're good there, though, honestly. Well, yeah, let's just run them over. I don't think I need to even spend a move dealing with this. d4. Keep that diagonal cooking for Mr. Bishop. Knight d4 is something I wanted anyway, to get rid of this knight, right? And now we are very close to just taking, whether we checkmate on f2 or on h2, I'm good either way. Like ba6, like what if I even just ignore? So they play rook here, which is logical stuff, but they are in more dire straits than that. So with the pin here, that pawn is stuck on f2. So that's ideal timing. And now, I mean, I could throw a knight g4 at him, or a queen h5. What order makes the most sense here? Bishop f3, h5, I should take it. Or queen h5 now. Is this anything? Here, then bishop f3. I think this is best. Bishop d5, bishop e6. Maybe queen h5 first, so I didn't have to get distracted from this. But I think now we just got him. We just waltz right in. We just waltz right in. Look at this, just absolutely overwhelming force around this king. We got this pawn all the way there, took it on g3, and there was nothing to do here, not even an h4. Not even an h4 in this position could stop me from mate. Okay, this is actually really, really, really important attacking stuff. How did I just checkmate my opponent in 19 moves? When my opponent made logical moves, was a decent player, and played like a normal English, which is supposed to be one of the most solid openings in chess, and I was black. And I played a6 on the first move. Okay, what's going on here? Well, it could have been even faster had they done something a bit different, but they didn't. So, a lot of English players, first of all, against a6, most people play knight c3 because they think a6, this is my one idea, and they're not so wrong. Well, they actually are wrong. So here, take, I'm going to play b4, takes, and this leads to a very fun gambit on my channel. I'll review this a little bit more after I'm done looking at this game. But okay, most people play knight c3, but second most common move is certainly g3. A lot of English players play g3, of course. If the bishop's not coming that way, it's coming that way. And also this stops b5, because b5 I'm not going to play unless I can bother a knight, number one, and I'm definitely not going to play if that's going to be annoying. So how do I use a6 if there's no b5, right? It also makes it look like I just played an absolutely pointless move. However, there is a critical purpose to a6. So there's actually two ways you can utilize it. I'll talk about the other way later. But this way is I go e5, and I go bishop c5, knight c6, and d6. So I put my bishop there, and then I close the door, right, with the bishop on the other side of this door. And here, a6 is a very, very useful move. Because, so, in this position, if you just played like a regular reverse Sicilian English kind of situation, and you went here, 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 d6, d3, you might, in this position, actually play a6. A6 is a super duper valid move in this position. So yes, is it useful? It's extremely useful because you probably would have played it anyway. Why? Because I actually need a moment right now to understand where this knight is going, as I was talking about during the game. I have two ways I can attack right now. I have, against a fianchetto, right? I have h5, h4, and I have f5, f4. Those are the two ways I can attack. The rook could be here, if I was doing the f, or the rook could be here, if I was doing the h. Now, they have two ways they can develop. You can see the two most common moves here are knight f3 and e3. Let's say they played e3. What would I do? Well, I would play bishop e6, they would play knight e2, I'd play queen d7, they'd castle, I'd play bishop h3, d4, bishop a7, right? So I never played f5. I never played f5. What does their pawn do on e3? Well, it stops f5, right? So in this position, if I were to play f5, that would not be a good idea because now I'm never going to get to f4. This is super well defended. And I'm also never going to get a bishop to h3 because my pawn here is stuck. So e3 makes sense as an anti-f5 setup. And then from knight e2, they can do other stuff. They can go d4, they can expand on the queen side, they can go knight d5, etc. if I can't hit them here or here. So e3, what I do is I say, okay, I haven't played f5. I'm actually going with the h5, h4 attack. So I play bishop e6, and now I use that diagonal that I never closed, all the while your knight's sitting on e2, right? So if the knight were on f3, by the way, in this position, if the knight were on f3, knight g5 would be extremely annoying. It would stop bishop h3, it would be able to take that bishop, and then nobody would ever trade off for you. So bishop h3, now let's say d4, I don't care, and now you just do whatever, but now I play h5 and h4, there's no knight on f3 that guards h4, and there's also no knight on f3 that will guard h2 as I get you here and crush everything open. So that's my h5, h4 attack. That's my h5, h4 attack, and that's what I'll be doing. I'll just be leaving my rook here and castling long if your knight goes to e2. My opponent did not do that. They played knight f3, and I'm not going with h5 now. I'm not going with bishop e6 and queen d7 because there's knight g5 that can get my bishop and guard h3, and it can also fight against h4. They can play h4 themselves, and then I don't have g5 so easily because their knight is there, and their bishop is open, right? So knight on f3, what do we do? Well, I say, okay, I'm going with the f5, f4 attack, right? So if they castled it, this would have been very similar to the game. I would have been going for this. I am down a move here relative to if the colors were inverted, right? You guys know I play the Grand Prix a lot for white. Well, they play bishop g5 here, which makes sense because if I just play knight f6 here, I gotta be careful. Knight d5 is really annoying. Now they're gonna take it, even if I castle, they're gonna take it and force g takes f6, and this is just a total disaster, not what I wanted at all. So I do have to be careful here. I play queen d7, I slide out the way. Now when they castle, now I play h6, driving them away, and knight to f6, and this is looking pretty similar to before. a3, b4, and look at that. a6, that move we played just because I needed one move. I needed to make some useful move to figure out what they were doing with their knight here, whether or not I was playing f5, based off of what they were doing with their knight. And a6 is a very useful move because I need a storage square for this bishop. This bishop becomes very important in this attack, right? It was actually really the unsung hero of this attack because this pin right here is what forced an f takes g3. An h takes g3 because it stopped that pawn from being able to recapture, right? So b4 they played, and I'm just like, no problem. I'll tuck you right back in on a7. If it were on b6, it could get hit again, or it can get trapped, or something like that. None of that stuff. So b4 came, and I was just able to continue with my stuff here. So queen b3, they tried making some queenside attack here. I play queen f7, which is a multi-purpose move here. One, I want to come to h5, right? This is the maneuver I want. There's no pawn on f7 here, so now I'm taking that maneuver. That is part of the f5, f4 attack. And two, c5, any hits on my king aren't happening. King h8, also a logical move here. But so they're trying to get in on the queen side. I am trying to get in on the king side. And the reason why my attack is so much better is because, look, there's a king where I'm attacking and there's no king where you're attacking, right? So even here, even when you like crash through or something, there's nothing there if it's not landing with like checks and checkmates. I mean, they're just playing here rook c1, just like kind of like logical moves here as if their king is not under a ton of fire here. And after knight to g4, they're just losing here. I mean, knight g4. So queen h5 first was actually just much better. Here, queen h3 stops king g2, rook h1 from extending the game at all. Just knight g4, bishop d5. I mean, they actually could have extended the game here with maybe takes. I don't know. I would probably get my queen to h5, and there's problems here. So, yeah, I mean, still very, very, very unpleasant and almost winning for black. But okay, queen h5 first was better. Regardless here, getting the queen to h5, overwhelming pressure on f2 with that open, overwhelming pressure on h2 with no knight there that we traded off for. Bishop here, so no f takes g3 happened, and the pawn couldn't even come to h3 or h4, and we just crashed through like so. That's how to attack against a fianchetto. Do it with the f-pawn, or do it with h-pawn, but make sure you read the defense to see how to orchestrate your offense. Subscribe. Also, brief note here, a6. Boom, 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 boom. Fun line. Super fun line. I just want to kind of take the whole center and drive this knight into more annoying spots. I play e5. Look at that. Bang. If I get this to e4, this is a super nice center. And if they take it, well then this is also really, really, really fun lines on my channel. You guys should check out the full repertoire here because this is what's happening most of the time against the English. Most people will be playing knight c3. You can see that 54% of games here are with knight c3, but b5 is a nasty one. So check that out on my channel. Full a6 repertoire. Full a6 repertoire here. And yes, the other important thing you can do with a6 is like at any point if you want to go with this setup. So a6 is a useful move here and played in this position. Because the point is, like, now you can try and take it and win this pawn, or at least hit the bishop again to, you know, take that diagonal and such. And otherwise, you induce a capture if they don't want to leave that pawn potentially hanging, and then your bishop is free. Your bishop is free, which is ordinarily a problem with Queen's Gambit decline. Not everything can be super sexy. Checkmate in 20. Okay. Now I'm signing off. Subscribe. Do I still get sponsored by Duolingo? Yeah, I mean, I do stuff for Duolingo. I like Duolingo. It's a really fun brand. Game of Thrones theme whistling is so funny. Is that, well, was that what I was whistling before? After a4, I don't know what position you're talking about. What are some of your gambits you would play in a serious OTB tourney? Good question. I would play the Leela Gambit is the first one that comes to mind. Objectively very good. The thing is, classical at my level, people are just so good that it's tough. But up to, I think people have talked about this in Discord, like at the 2000 level. Literally at the 2000 level, people have had success. With like something like the Von Popiel, something like the Von Hennig. So I think that's really good stuff. All right, let's play a wing gambit. We're playing a wing gambit. We're just gonna mess around and make this work. Oh, interesting. He didn't like my wing. I was just winging it, guys. Oh god, I'm so funny. It's just crazy how funny I am. Can I just win this pawn for free? I don't know, chat. I'm just winging it. What do they got? Queen of 6. Like, boom. This would be like fun as like a, and then they take my rook. I just want to make this game exciting somehow. Go Queen of 6, and then I'll come here. And then I'll gambit my rook. That's what I'm looking for. They said, no thank you. Actually, didn't even remember this idea. Could go bing bang. Bing bang. Tick, 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 tick. I guess this is annoying. I'll just go here. I think we just need to start playing good moves. I don't think we've done that yet in this game. Wing, wing, wing. Who can make the worst puns? E3 actually, like, defends useful stuff. It's actually kind of well placed. Very random. I've had a fun day of madness. First day of March Madness, chat. Alright, I mean, Queen e7 wasn't the best choice. That goes right back to blocking your bishop, right? Thank you, Geno Excess. So they're trying to come out the other way with their bishop. But something I can do is just get you real quick before your king gets out of there, right? Just gonna put a rook on e1 and go get him. Maybe they can come here. They got problems with c7 as well. Nice. So yeah, the queen e7, I think, slowed him down a bit. Required a couple moves. Rather than bishop here and getting out, you guys got to get out of the middle fast. Because then you might never. I think they still have an 86 though. Let's go d6, right? They can ignore me. I need like this. Somehow. Even if they take it, bishop a3, it's actually not even that good. Alright, let's go f4 f5 now. Let's just go f4 f5. Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple. f4 f5, maybe even f6. Probably not, though. Looks like the bishop and the rook are going to align. Seems like a fun thing to throw. Here, now f6 could win the knight. Oops, I guess they didn't hear me. They have this, h4. Yep. h4. Or bang bang. Backdrop malfunction. What happened in the backdrop? Did my green screen move? Did you see my unmade bed? Wouldn't want that to happen. I can go here. This is also good. Yeah, we're looking good here, chat. That is valid. But you can't get to my king because your pieces are bad, and I can get to your king because my pieces are good. That's about all they can do. Always do that, just in case your opponent pre-moved. Yep, smart. Smart. They almost got me. I'm just kidding. Ah, you think pre-moves are your ally. I was born in the pre-moves. Molded by it. I was dirty flagging before you were even a boy. I don't know, what's the line? Is that the line? What's the line? Bane line forged in darkness. You think darkness is your ally. You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. We were close. My opponent's ignoring the safety of their king. True. I mean, I think I get a little bit of credit, but true. What to do here? What to do? I like this move. Something all fancy. D5. I'll play D5. How are we doing in the standings of this arena? Yeah, that's all theory. So a6, we got them to take it and opened up our bishop because we were threatening to take it in b5 otherwise. So they had to free us. No, this is just standard stuff. My bad. Gambit Man destroying his opponents with aura. Correct. Correct. Now you got it. I could probably go here anyway, even though the rook is here, because the knights can't come to any of these squares, even though that negates kind of the value of this pawn. I know there's an argument for queen b8 in these positions, just because of that. I mean, it's a little bit awkward. But, okay, we sidestep this. My opponent needs to seriously consider, like, yeah, what's happening if I go, like, knight h5? Just try to h6 and win, like, a pawn. I think knight h5, the problem is probably a quick e4. That's probably the issue. There's a couple, there's like an argument for long castles here, right? h5. It's interesting. I'll just... yeah, I'll play h6. I think short castles is probably simpler, but... do they do this? Take, 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 take. What did I play there? Like rook d8, right? Yeah, they do. I wanted to switch up the position a little bit. I mean, a couple options here. I like this one, actually, the most. Or I could just long castle, which is kind of interesting. I'll just play it solidly. I'll just play this solidly and work against this pawn here. So nothing left on this diagonal for me. Just need to hold this pawn on d4. Never, ever, ever let it get to d5. I'm gonna bring my rook to d8. I'm gonna short castle, and we're gonna get this with our bishops. Because e4, like, yeah, it switches up the structure a lot, but kind of only makes sense if they can continue rolling. And I don't think they can. I don't need to take that. When they c5, I'll just come here. Don't have any problems on h7, so that's kind of nice. There's no threats of t5. So I'm just gonna continue making logical moves. I guess they were worried about a2. I was not worried about it. To put a bishop on d5 is kind of the big question here. Probably this is intriguing, right? Isn't this intriguing? As much as I like a bishop on d5, but this is some nice squares from here, right? Nice c5. Maybe I have to tuck it back in because I didn't realize that knight b4 takes. It's my queen. c5, yeah, probably bishop c8. We're still good there, honestly, because like knight f4, yeah, they didn't want any of that smoke. Didn't want any of that smoke. Bishop f5, check. Got nothing there. Let me just kind of make a generic move here. What are you even going to do? Queen f4? I like it as well. This is a liability for them. Like, honestly, it's not so off the table. Queen c8. Queen f4 has this direct threat. Probably should have done it last turn. So they jump there. Could go knight b4 and trade it. Could just take it as well. Probably I'm just going to tuck you back in. On the other side of this rook, totally valid. And we're going to explore our options with queen f4, bishop d6, and a strong kingside attack. I don't need to win this pawn. I just need to hold it. Now we can make some fun things happen. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this. Bishop f5 I can play if I felt like it, but okay, I need to watch b7 one way or another. d4 they could play. I would drop back. And I'm still threatening takes and bishop f5. Bishop f5 now, is actually winning. I think. Because takes, they got both rooks hanging. But bishop f5 takes here. Isn't this clear? Rook d5, rook f4, bishop c2. Should I just draw back? I mean, I do like my position. But this takes d5, rook d5. I also leave b7 hanging. Rook f4, bishop c2. Yeah, no, I don't want to leave b7 hanging. I wasn't sure about this line. I think it was playable, but like wasn't super clear. Just made this. But no, I mean, I think they didn't deal with either threat. I'm actually really upset. They didn't deal with either threat. I was turning both of these. But probably I should. Well, I can't. That's the thing. But okay, takes. Rook b8. Knight somewhere. It's hard to inflict more pressure on this, right? It's actually it's kind of a brutal pawn to lose. Bishop f5 not nearly as good as I thought it was. This was a tough pawn to lose, and a very good bishop to trade off. So the fact that they can even just trade this rook for these two, they want that? No, but now we're running into... No way. They wanted to test me. I think their luck's gonna run out. So it's c5 there, which is a really interesting move. Okay, we gotta take this down. C5, really interesting move. Just bring this. We can also just trade and then C5, which I think obliges a trade here. No, let's just play C5. We're running low on the clock. Do I just win a piece? Like, what do you do? Well, I opened up this attack. I mean, yeah, they got really greedy trying to grab this. No, I think if they pulled their knight out, it was definitely still better for me, but not super clear. No, I just grabbed this. D5, I can come back, and I'm up a rook for a couple stray pawns. A few pawns here, okay, I mean... should be precise, I can't just get their king. Their king has been safe all game, which is what makes this kind of annoying. Should probably bring you in somehow if I can. I mean, I set up rook c8, I guess. Rook b8. I was trying to just make it tough on her pawns. I mean, I'll take whatever I can. I'll take whatever I can, right? Why wouldn't I? Now we're gonna come... oh, interesting. Okay. I mean, I'll take more. I understand they were trying to get my king, but I think they just kind of exposed theirs. Yeah, we're good here. Pieces are well coordinated. Thank you, I try. I really do. I really do. Yeah, I mean, I think this was a well-played game. I think we did well with our pieces. Out of that interesting structure. But we'll have a look. It's against kind of that isolated queen pawn. What you want to do is make sure you blockade it. And because my bishop looked nice there, I don't think they... really had a lot they could do in terms of coming to my king, right? I just want you. I like that. I just keep everything defended here, so I need queen b7. Like I just, if I only keep one thing unprotected, it's fine. If you keep two things, then you gotta watch out for like this, which could be attacking a couple things. Oh my god! I literally just said my knight was unprotected. I just hung in anyway. Okay. We should be fine. Good here. Check g6. Check g6. Yeah. Would have been nice to keep the knight. They did expose their king. I want that to take it. I don't know, I just hung the knight. I mean, soon enough they're going to be in time trouble. One, I also have f5, but it's just totally unnecessary, but it's an option. want this. Let me in. Get this. Pulls.
5, 4, 3.
Careful.
2.
Ah, there we go. Did not stalemate. Did not promote here. We did not promote here. Did not. We moved our rook up, then they went here, and then we promoted with check, so that we could checkmate next turn, but they flagged. GG. Alright, chat. Alright. Tis been fun. I think we've won all of the games. We've won all of the games, all 13 games we played today. Subscribe. We'll be back later for more.